Now wow, people wey suppose talk true to power don off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go sama us, call them hate speech. But fear not, Maiyegun don come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we loud, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun diary politico, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don come, oh, yo, yo. This one not the off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don come, oh, yo, yo. And in the touchlight every corner, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don come, oh, yo, yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Sure. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over naira. See them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say Maiyegun don come. So my people make you loud, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don come, oh, yo, yo. My people make we shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don come, man of the masses, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun diary politico, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don come, oh, yo, yo. This one not they off in mind, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don come, oh, yo, yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that Maiyegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say Maiyegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day, then they take money in bulk. Woman picking, they the street they hawk. Still them talk say, make we no talk. But thank God say, Maiyegun don come. So my people make you loud, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don come, oh, yo, yo. My people make you shout, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don come, man of the masses.
Maiyegun don come, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun diary politico, oh, yo, yo. Maiyegun don come, oh, yo, yo. Good afternoon, good morning to you. On Facebook, I'm on Facebook today. So if you are watching me from Facebook, thank you. Facebook won't give you notifications, so don't worry. But thank you for joining me still. This is Maiyegun Live. If you are watching me on YouTube, it's a pleasure having you. You know what we do most of Maiyegun's diary is to help fight what Nigeria call the Stockholm syndrome. Stockholm syndrome, where people who are suffering, who are being deceived again and again and again by rogue career criminals. But Stockholm syndrome will make them feel like, well, we will just manage this one. You know, let's just forget about that. Let's move on. Stockholm syndrome. Maiyegun's diary is the antidote for Stockholm syndrome. Antidote for Stockholm syndrome, so that all of you suffering from short memories of PTSD, fraudulent manipulation, religious manipulation, and all of that, using politics and every other thing. Many of you are victims of this, suffering from this Stockholm syndrome, and let us forget and move on mentality. That is why Maiyegun's diary is always here, to knock sense into your head and let you know that for every decision you make, whether partly or wholly, every decision you make in your life always come with its own consequences, good or bad. There is always consequence and consequences for every action. For those of you who are the Buhari days, the Buhari didiris, the Buhari denotus, the Buhari dijatus, the Buhari shukus, the Ungoziaris, the Unekaris, the obedient fools, the sophisticated morons, and the humbled slaves, the Mumumadus, the Bele lecturers, the Mumu lecturers, the Facebook bandits and social media adsmen, the collateral Mumus, and the entire clan and generation of Buhari idiots. For every action or for every decision you make, there is always going to be consequence or consequence. In your own case, it's going to be consequences. First, they sold you change. They turned it to chain. Then they rebranded it and sold you next level, which was actually next evil. 6 years down the line. We told you, by the way, I told you many times. Some of you don't like me because of this. That's why some of you don't really like me, because I was telling you the truth, that consequences are coming. Oh. It's because you hate Buhari. Shut up your mouth. Come back to Nigeria. It's because you hate Buhari. I say, it's not because of that. It's because Buhari, in fact, if you have to critically scrutinize Buhari and his people, Buhari hates you and he hates the country that some of you are foolishly thinking you probably can save or you love. Well, I love my country. I love the greatest country in the whole world. Mumu, collateral Mumu. Where is the greatest country in the whole world? I was only warning you. Because if Buhari loved Nigeria, for those of you who even supported that, I'm talking to you now, your decision was that Buhari will fix your country. You didn't know that one day they are going to be giving you options, your life or your land. You have to choose one, your life or your land. That wasn't part of the bargain, was it? I'm talking to those our brothers and sisters who are the change agents. The Lagos Abobakus, the Oshogbo Alumajiris, the crumb chasers, crumb eaters, ass lickers, the Baba Sokweis. I'm talking about those who were seeing a Kenne Shatabandu fake Pastor Ruga as a role model. Some people that will come in to build Nigeria to their dream. Isaleko Barack Obama, Fashola. Where are they today? All of you, I'm asking you. The Lagos Abobakus, 6 years down the line, the conversation is now, share you go give land, or you go give your life, or you go fight. That one, third option, created by people who don't want to take the first two options, give my land or give my life. No, I would rather fight. Those options is the option that we have now. Many of you never thought you will ever get to that stage in Nigeria, but here you are. We now have Sheikh Gumi, Kaduna Osama bin Laden, who is now the National Special Advisor to Federal Government of Nigeria on banditry, terrorism, and ransom payments. Amnesty here. Kaduna Osama bin Laden. That one is working about, is granting interview. Now he's warning all of you, you media men, you better be careful. Stop calling these terrorists, stop calling them criminals. And if you didn't get the memo when they first sent the memo out, let me help you. When you validated the no, please, you see, some of you guys on Facebook, that's the only thing I miss about us on Facebook. Some of these names, we created them from Facebook, you know what I mean? So now, some of you have not heard all these names in a while. Usually we do this every time we get into the spirit. When you get into the spirit, when Maiyegun is sitting on when Maiyegun is sitting on the high table or the high chair or at the temple of truth like this, and the inspiration start coming, all those names will start coming, and they just, they're just fixing, like it fits. But Facebook wanted to shut us down by all means. So go and join my YouTube channel. I need to be seeing some of your ajasas, the way we do it on Facebook all the time. I'll be reading your ajasas. The inspirations will be tapping in. I'll be giving you the line, the point, that stuff. Let's leave Adeyinka Grandiot out of this for now. Okay. We just want to give an update on the madness, the first coronavirus that first entered Nigeria in 2014, 2015. And the victims of that virus, we are doing a lot to heal them. It's not easy. So let's deal with them today. Today, Kaduna Osama bin Laden is now telling us that we should be careful in calling terrorists. We should be careful in calling them that name because they are not terrorists. I mean, they are not criminals. They are just people who are just even the chief self cannot even define it. Yeah. However, there was a guy who went with him on one of the occasions, on one of the visits to their different parastatals, the Zamfara branch. And when that guy got there, you see, Nigeria is a mess. So some of you probably don't really grasp it. Nigeria is in a real mess, a terrible one that, charlatans, people of questionable characters are those who are now speaking or sharing or spreading or discussing morality in that country now. Gumi, I'm going to tell you Gumi's story. I'm putting all of the pieces together. You're going to have a broadcast from me that's going to tell you about Gumi, that jihadist terrorist who ran away from Nigeria after committing what I will tell you. The same Gumi is back. He has his mosque. He is preaching and is grooming his own terrorist in the north. Presently, he is in bed with the jihadist Buhari APC, egbekegbe. The same way they managed to hoodwink, brainwash. Well, should I call it brainwash? Huh? Well, they were good at it. Brainwash. You know that man, the leader of the Shiites, El-Zazaki. El-Zazaki. In 2014, 2015, even though Kaduna Little Finger, that Kaduna Little Finger, El Rufaya, he knew that most of the Shiites, they don't even recognize Nigeria authority at all. They knew then, but because they too, they were not in support of Nigeria authority until they took power. Kaduna Little Finger was a regular visitor to El-Zazaki. Some of their members don't have a voters card. They are not interested, but they just love that people they can groom and recruit and use to cause problems in case if they lose power. Kaduna Little Finger, immediately they came to power. The first people they first committed genocide against were the Shiites. They massacred them, over 1,400 of them, in a 2-day sting operation. To this day, they are still arguing. No, it no be 1-4. Now only 600 people we killed. No, in fact, it wasn't 600. It's only 400 and something people we killed. They are arguing. How many people did we kill? The Shiites. Those were the loyalists of El-Zazaki. El-Zazaki himself, they killed his son, killed his children, kidnapped him and his wife. And since 2015, December 2015, he has been living in jail. So if you see Kaduna Osama bin Laden, that is currently hobnobbing with these politicians because it suits their political agenda. That is why you can see Gumi everywhere, granting interview, jumping from one TV station to another. He is the only one who have access to the terrorists. Nigerian military don't have the access to them. Gumi even came out and he said, no, don't be deceived. The Nigerian army, they know where the terrorists are. But don't call them terrorists again. You should start calling them, don't call them criminal. They have not committed any crime. Even if they killed people, it was by mistake. Come on. They are not criminals. But this man disagreed, right? He actually disagreed. He went there too. Listen to him. Before I let you, I will go and show you Gumi. Then I will go and show you more and more and more and more. Why? If you are open, that a magic or a miracle is going to happen. Let's just go. I'm coming. Watch this.
Thank you very much for having me. So, I have known Sheikh Dr. Ahmed Gumi since medical school 45 years ago. So we have gone back a long way. And I know personally how deeply he cares for this country and how pained he is about insecurity. We all are. And we have to accept and not deny that these bandits are Fulanis, our Fulanis, not foreign Fulanis. They are our flesh and blood. Once we accept that, then we forget all the conspiracies and face the reality. What we will also not do is we will not deny them. We are not proud of what they are doing. We are ashamed of what they are doing. If you have a child who has gone astray, you don't kick him out. You pull him closer in the hope that you touch his heart. Essentially, that is the reason why Sheikh Ahmed Gumi embarked on this. He has for the past several years, been preaching in the mosque and telling our clerics not to remain in the cities, but to go into the rugas, into the villages, and preach to them what our scripture says. But he has to show by example. No government or person or group of persons asked him to do that. So he started that in Kaduna. He visited four Fulani settlements that had serious problems. And then he invited me to come to Zamfara with him. We were there from last Sunday to yesterday. And as we speak today, he's still on the road. Okay. What we saw in Zamfara was entirely different. Nobody expected what we saw. These meetings were arranged by Fulani leaders all over. The Fulani leaders, we cannot thank them enough. And
so let's be grateful to the Fulani leaders who acknowledged that they didn't send their boys to be doing all the killings, but they cannot deny them. But Sheikh Gumi has another view which is different from this one, and he is in fact being the new sheikh in charge of negotiation and amnesty for terrorists in Nigeria. This is his own view.
Sheikh, you seem to approach this with the sense that these bandits are victims. Exactly why? And what are their demands really? What do they really want? Because in spite of your negotiations, attacks continue.
Attacks have lessened. It's just one case you have of the Kagara boys. Without it, there is a drastic change. We have seen absolute drastic change in Zamfara, in Sokoto State, where negotiations are going. So you don't take sporadic cases and just, explode it. Even the Maiduguri incident here I don't think it's a big threat because the military has surrounded the town. There is no more continuous bombardment. It's just sporadic attacks. Shouldn't frighten people. I think the military should be on top of the situation. But yet, negotiations are very useful in seeing that we get these boys or youth to get sense into their head and just admonish them and show them the fear of God. And it also works.
Okay, so in terms of what they want, what exactly did they say to you will make them surrender their weapons? Because no matter how you look at it, they're criminals.
You see, you are emphasizing on criminality. I don't know who, even the press are criminals too, because they are putting fire into, they're putting oil into fire. These people are listening to you. You see, you don't address them as criminals if you want them to succumb. Youth are ready to put down their weapons. Now they are hearing you are calling them criminals. How do you want them to cooperate? So you have to show them they are Nigerians and that they should not hurt children and that they should be law-abiding, they should be good. This is the language we want to hear the press to assist us in getting the boys. You see, when we talk with them with a nice wordings, they are ready to put their weapons down. They are ready to listen to us.
Arise Television, great to them. Did you hear that? Some of you, this is where, will I say, me and you, to those who always disagree with me, this is where we tend to always disagree. Okay? Immediately, they said, oh, what do they want? What do they really want? These guys are criminals. Did you see how Bin Laden quickly changed it for the journalists who asked that question? No. You see, this is the problem. Just you media, you are criminals too. We are trying to talk to these boys. We are trying to placate them. We are trying to beg them. Don't call them criminal. They are trying to lay down their weapon. Like, we have to beg them. Nigeria has to beg them. People, because they have guns, Abby. But when you are holding your own flag, your flag is more dangerous than AK-47, according to these people. So when you now allow this kind of charlatan, because he's a sheikh, or you say because he can read Quran, or he can write Arabic, you allow this charlatan, a terrorist enabler, to stand up and say, no, hey, don't, you need to help us, because we want to solve the problem. We don't want the police, we don't want the soldiers, we don't want the government to do their job. We just want to use religion to talk to them, and they can calm down, blah, 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 blah. Nigeria will continue to pay for terrorists. You will continue to pay terrorists to stay alive in Nigeria. Here is an example. Daily Trust did an interview on, because you see, the most senior citizens in Nigeria right now, they are the bandits, they are the terrorists. Once you have guns and you are a terrorist, the Nigerian government will respect you. It's the esprit de corps. Nigerian government is government of terrorists. The terrorists in Nigeria, if you become a terrorist, yeah, they will just automatically just be esprit de corps, esprit de corps. They will pay you. It is as bad as that. Because even the bandits, they also have points. Would you believe that the bandits, they told them that they were going to, what do you call it? If they help them destabilize Nigeria, they were going to give them job. They are going to give them money. This APC, egbekegbe, the truth is coming out. So some of you who have not really grasped the fact yet, the truth is coming out, and I'm going to share this video with you. Yeah, it is. It is subtitled. The credit goes to the Daily Trust newspaper in Nigeria. They did the interview. The bandits, they are APC members, because they told them that once they help them destroy Nigeria, that is destroy Goodluck Jonathan and the government at the time, they were going to make them okay. They're going to take care of them. They're going to give them money and all of that. They're going to educate them. So the bandits are now saying, since Buhari came to power, he's abandoned them. Meanwhile, Buhari was the one who told all of them to come to Nigeria. You will listen to the video now. You watch that. They say, why did you join banditry? And I said, I'm not educated. I'm a pastorist. The only thing I know is to feed my cow. Is this, man? They give us gun. They left us in the bush. They did not come back for us. When they get to power, they did not come back for us. They left us to feed for ourselves. We are not educated. We don't have any form of education. How do they want us to survive? They give us gun and nothing. APC, egbekegbe, is behind terrorism in Nigeria. Let that be on record. Put that word on Mabu. APC is behind the insecurity, banditry, and terrorism in Nigeria as we speak, and it is led by the government of Buhari. Watch this video before. Here's the other part.
Dalilin daukan bindigan nan mu makiyaya ne. Kasan nan tana da mai, tana da komi, tana da.
No, I think that's the abridged version of it. Don't worry. Even bandits or even terrorists knows that Buhari is useless. They promised them something. The same way Buhari promised you everything, promised you this and that. They promised terrorists too. Gave them guns and left them in the forest. When they started the killings and attacking different villages, the politicians secretly went to them to draft a fake agreement that nobody knows about. When they breached that agreement, yeah, the killing continued. This is just Zamfara. You see, these ones are another version from those ones from southern Nigeria. Those ones from southern Nigeria, one day you will be seeing them in videos too. They will be telling you why they kidnap school children, why they did this, because your politicians in Yoruba land, they have signed agreements that they did not fulfill. Some of you will be sitting there like, when did we sign agreement? They say, they don't sign them since, you know, they did. You know, they did, but because you know, say you be a PC member, I be you be a PDP member. Now all of them now, they agree, say, say me that they kill us. I say, yeah, they don't agree at 20. That's the situation. Just like what this guy is yarning. It's called yarning dust, Abi, but it's quite hilarious to listen to. Let's go to Kogi quickly. For those who are discussing how the children of Nigeria can safely return to school, why the entire country is burning and boiling, Buhari is nowhere to be found. Yeah? Yeah. Watch this.
Today, Mr. President, we do not even talk about giving milk to our children in school. We are talking about the safety of our children. If we were not taken care of then, with those programs initiated by Sardauna, maybe many of us will not be here. It is unfortunate today, Mr. President, with all the problems confronting our nation. I want to commend my colleague for this bill. If there's one thing we must focus on, is the welfare of our children. The well-being of the leaders of tomorrow must be of concern to all of us. If we cannot give them those things that we were given when we were growing up, I think the little we can do for them is to keep them safe. So I want to call on governors to do all that they can. Nigeria is such a large nation that you do not talk about federal government being able to police all these institutions of learning. It's on this now I want to say, Mr. President, despite that there are some governors who are doing their best. In our state, Mr. President, we are lucky to have a governor who has taken security as a serious priority. We are bordered by 9 states in Kogi State. But we've never had an incident where the unfortunate thing that's happening to some of our neighboring states has happened. Some governors are committed to the well-being of their people. In my state just last week, Mr. President, my governor awarded contract for renovation of schools and providing security services, along with road construction in some states and overhead bridges. Mr. President, in some states of Nigeria today, where you have highly intelligent people, highly educated people, highly enterprising people like Abia, they are governed by drunkards. The governor of Abia is a champion drinking man. He has done nothing for his people. Roads are not constructed in Abia, Mr. President. Abia people are impoverished more than ever before. Abia people are unfortunate to have their governor. And the president of the president here, I'm not sure that this is concerned about it. I'm talking about who is here castigating the state that is doing the same as well. Abia is governed by a man who is a drunkard, who is a champion drinking man. My own governor is enterprising, it's not right.
I'm sorry if you are from Abia. Oju Zokalu is also from Abia. How can you say the governor of Abia State is a drunkard? Ekpeazu. Hello.
My papa na tapa, my mama na seller, my sister na sava, I remain a drinker. My name na Larry, my name na Bookie, they call me Casey because I want
I didn't do that. Anyway, that's just a side talk, kind of, because we picked up something from Kogi as well, which you don't want to probably see right away. Okay, so I decided to drop this this bit into what is going to come later tonight. If you have the time to join me, Gumi has warned the Nigerian media to stop calling the bandits criminal. What's going to be next? We are likely going to start, you're going to start getting arrested for calling the bandits criminals, because remember their hate speech law and so many other funny laws they are putting in place to stop you. The incompetent, inefficient service chiefs, the generals who are unable to defeat terrorism in Nigeria and committed genocide, massacre, human rights, crimes against humanity, against their own people. They are now looking for what is called diplomatic immunity. Diplomatic immunity from arrest internationally, because they know that the local law will never ever touch them. However, they have been approved to be to be ambassadors for Nigeria under this APC. Egbekegbe. I'm going to see you all later tonight. Sorry it was so short. It's meant to be. I'll see you later. Enjoy the rest of the day, and stay safe. Goodbye.
Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú Ẹ̀súnràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní Ẹ̀súnràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní Ẹ̀súnràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní Ẹ̀súnràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní Ẹ̀súnràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ijó ìgbádìyẹ. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní Ẹ̀súnràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní Ẹ̀súnràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Kí gómìnà kówó jẹ. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní Ẹ̀súnràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọlọ́pàá tí ń gba rìbá. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní Ẹ̀súnràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Aṣòfin tí ń rúfin o. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní Ẹ̀súnràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Òwúrọ̀ olóṣèlú. Maiyegun máa wí. Àní Ẹ̀súnràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú Ẹ̀súnràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Àní Ẹ̀súnràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú Ẹ̀súnràkì. Maiyegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú Ẹ̀súnràkì.